Morning, guys. This is Ali Baqir Khan with another podcast session with Sadia Naseem today. First of all, thank you so much for joining in the good cause, Sadia. How are you doing today?
I'm fine and doing nothing just as a weekend.
Oh yeah, of course it's weekend, but you're gonna do. I mean, this is actually something for a lot of people out there, so you cannot say nothing.
Yes,
But yeah, I mean, this is what
yes, there are
the
a lot
message
of
should
things
be,
I'm gonna.
that this is a really easy thing to do, like 30 minutes taking out of your busy schedule on a weekend, and
Yeah, sure.
out of this, a lot of people can get benefit. So why not?
Yeah, shoot. I have to go. I have to shoot my blog as well.
I
I'm a
say.
blogger as well, so
Yeah.
that's why.
So yeah, let me introduce Sadia a bit. That Sadia is a blogger. That's how we connected, and she's teaching in a school currently. I don't know much about her career journey, so she's going to be the one explaining about it. She knows that we're going to discuss about lack of career counseling and how to build entrepreneurs. So based on her experience, we are going to come towards that part as well. But Sadia, my first question to you would be regarding, can you please explain and throw some light upon when you were a child and how you started off your high school, your college life, your university life? What were the hurdles during those days, if there were, and if there was a proper guidance that you got, how did you get towards that? Can you just go ahead and throw some light upon that, please?
When I was a child, there was no pressure at all from my parents' sides
Okay.
that you have to become a doctor or engineer as well. No pressure from my parents' side. No? It was totally my choice, and I always, become wanted to become an accountant because my maths was very good. So I always wanted to join something like in math calculations and these things. So I choose to not to do FSE, although I have good marks in metric, but I choose to do general sciences because I wanted to do maths. I love mathematics, so that's why I joined this field. And from very first, when I was in first year, so from that day, my focus was on I wanted to be an accountant and maybe a CA accountant, yeah, you'll be ACCA or accounting field I wanted to choose. So after my intermediate, I joined Hele College as a BCom honors, and it was my first batch when I joined Hele College. It was my first batch of honors. Before that time, they were doing people were doing simple BCom IT 2 years, but I did 4 years honors, and then कहते हैं ना कि, in my mind, I thought that when the day when I will complete my degree, I will have a lot of chances and opportunities, कि मैं तो बस जाते साथ ही मुझे जो है वो accountant की job मिल जाएगी, and that but it's not reality. बहुत से students के mind में होता है जब they are getting a high degree, so they are thinking of that कि जब जैसी डिग्री खत्म होगी बस ना बादशाह बन जाएंगे, but ये होता नहीं है.
होता नहीं
So
है. हाँ.
होता नहीं है. You have to struggle a lot, I must
Yeah.
say. So when I was fresher, I completed my job. I was very fresh. So we and our friends were trying to get a job in a bank, or we are, applying in
Sadia,
different
job का ही क्यों सोचते हैं
situations.
graduation? Like after graduation, everyone thinks of going for a job. Why don't we think about something innovative, that okay, let's run our own business, or let's just create our own identity? Why don't we think
I
that
think
way?
I think that our educational system does not, guide us properly. I have done e-commerce, commerce business study, okay,
हाँ
but
जी.
the practical studies are not guiding us to the right way. Okay, हमारे mind में यही होता है that we have to do us, simple. We'll complete our studies at the age of 24, 25, and then we start a job, and at the age of 30, we will be a settled person. So ये एक mindset जो है वो शुरू से चलता है from parent sides as well and from institutions as well.
So
I
what you're
think so
trying to say is
because
that अगर हम for example, if we work on building center for career counseling and leadership in an institute at every level,
yes,
starting from metric, O levels,
yes,
A levels, FSC, ICS, it would help us choose the right path and then evaluate
very
ourselves in a better way. That okay, this is who Sadia is, or this is who Ali is, or this is who
yes,
Shiza is,
of
or
course.
anyone. Yeah.
Yes, of course. Of course, I must say that when I was in Haley College, they were holding some kind of job fairs. Okay? Job fairs hota tha, where multinational companies and other companies come and they choose the best students for their jobs, and we were very much excited. Agar jobs ke liye hum kar sakte, then why not for entrepreneurship? Why not for own
देखिए
business? We can
सादिया,
knock
sorry I'm
that.
cutting you. One thing that I would like to tell people here, आप पता है ग्रेजुएट्स इतने ज्यादा हैं और जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज इतनी हैं नहीं. ठीक है, अनफॉर्चुनेटली हैं भी सही, इट्स नॉट अबाउट दैट, बट देयर इज लॉट ऑफ कंपटीशन. सो अब जो
Oh,
सर्वाइवल
no.
जोन रह गया है ना, we need to come up with opportunities, we need to come up with innovative ideas, we need to build those opportunities for people out there to start working. एंड वो कहते हैं ना, एक कम्युनिस्ट अप्रोच तो है ही कि आप अपने अपने जोन में करें, बट दिस इज द ओनली फ्यूचर फॉर पाकिस्तान दैट आई सी. छोड़ दें
Ah,
डेमोक्रेसी,
yes.
छोड़ दें व्हाटएवर इज हैपनिंग. पीटीआई is blaming PMLN, PMLN is blaming, मतलब there is a blame game going on. And
Everyone.
trust me, I mean, being when I was in my teenage, जब नया नया हम 18 साल के हुए, I turned 18 years old and I wanted to go ahead and vote for those politicians out there. I was really eager. But when I see blame games happening, let me just quote a quote that I always actually, usually, mostly I quote that. Eleanor Roosevelt once said there are three kinds of people. The first category is who talk about ideas, and they're the best category. Then the second category is who talk about events. That's also fine. Why? Because when you talk about events, you get to learn from it that, okay, Sadia managed an event, ये उसमें lacking कुछ था, तो आपने वो improvise किया. Then the third category is the worst category, and that is when we talk about people. और उसमें पाकिस्तानी जो सबसे ऊपर हैं कि जी वो आज उसने ये किया, और हमारे घरों में यही चल रहा होता है. वो सुबह बात शुरू ही गॉसिप से होती है. चाय का कप पी रहे होते हैं जी, वालिद साहब भी बैठ के, तो पहली बात ये करनी है कि यार वो शहबाज शरीफ फिर से आ गया. समझ रहे? तो आई डू रिस्पेक्ट द फैक्ट दैट ही इज माई फादर, ऑब्वियसली वो करते हैं बात, बट मैं एक जेनेरिक आपको बात बताने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ. व्हाट डू यू थिंक अबाउट दैट?
Uh, yes, it's right. Matlab, there are no counseling at, when we are students. Okay? Then the students are not thinking so much broadly. Okay? They are focusing on studies and too much things are on their minds. So there must be, from the teacher's side as well. No? From the teacher side, they must guide them, their students and their parents. ठीक है, चले parents का तो होता है जब उन्होंने खुद job की होती है तो उनको भी होता है बच्चे भी job में करते हैं. So you must have listened about Sunny Ali. He's a very working for the entrepreneurship for the young youth. इनकी एक बात मुझे बहुत अच्छी लगती है that he says कि आप why not start your career at 16? Why should we wait to be at 24? ठीक है ना? We should focus on 16 age. 16 or 18 age is good enough. From this at this stage, I think so. जब पाकिस्तान में Amazon has launched and so much work opportunities from home. You have, I have very much opportunities from home. I as well, when there was a time and still now I used to do freelancing in my, as a hobby, yeah, as a part-time, you can say. So it is giving me a lot, So why should not we think about at the age of 16? इसमें कोई problem नहीं है. You are doing metric or inter or O
Start
levels. You
taking
are good enough
ownership
to
of your
write.
own self identity.
Yes.
Stop relying on, and
जितनी
especially to
yes.
parents, I would always advise that देखें, for example, if I spend ₹1,000,000 on someone and I give them that and they're not utilizing it in a very good way, what would
हाँ.
happen eventually? 6 months और 1-2 महीने में खत्म हो जाते हैं. आजकल तो खैर गाड़ी भी नहीं मिलती 10 लाख में. एक बात कर,
हाँ.
but what if I give them an idea that बेटा ये अगर आप करेंगे या बेटी ये आप
Yes.
करेंगी तो you're gonna go ahead and excel. तो what do you think? आइडिया की इंपॉर्टेंस है या पैसों की इंपॉर्टेंस है?
Idea is main importantly because लेकिन अगर आप 16 की एज में स्टार्ट करते हैं, ठीक है, you can keep saving money and at the 1 or 2 years you can save enough amount to get your own something small business or a small small entrepreneur you can become. So it's a main idea. You can first you find your skill that आप करना क्या चाहते हैं लाइफ में, ठीक है. एक वही एक can only आपका है कि 60 to 80,000 is your target, so it's upon you, ठीक है ना. So जितनी आजकल महंगाई, I think so कि entrepreneurship is the only way that can give you maximum opportunity.
और एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप
To
कैसे आएगी? करियर काउंसलिंग से. देखें, they're
career
directly
counseling is
connected ना.
very much important.
You
तो
should know.
हाँ,
अब आप
because
खैर, let's come towards your career journey. आप बता रही थी कि जी आपने jobs देखना शुरू की. What happened after that? Go ahead.
when as a fresher, me and my friends started searching for job, and we are main targeting कि भी हमने तो अपनी degree job करनी है, like banker and that's all.
जी.
बहुत banks में start किया, but we didn't find. So we find a job at a call center, Telenor call center. I joined as a for the time being. It was not in my thinking. It is not my career for the time being. कि भाई free है तो जल्दी कर लेते हैं. So, but I was shocked. My team lead, she was also a girl, and she was D pharmacy. Her qualification was D Pharm, and I was very shocked. कि आप यहाँ क्या कर रही है then? There
Yeah.
are so many students, and there are so many people who are doing the job irrelevant to their education.
Yeah.
तो फिर यहीं से बात आपकी होगी कि जॉब के लिए आप अगर पढ़ रहे हैं तो it's not. कि अगर मैंने M.Com किया, I'm not in a job. I was not in a job. I was in a call center. So there were other people. उनकी job, उनकी experience, their education was totally different from the job.
अच्छा, अब आपने कॉमर्स में ग्रेजुएट किया, राइट? बिजनेस स्टडीज
कॉमर्स
में.
में ग्रेजुएट किया.
अब व्हाई कॉल सेंटर? डिड यू वांट टू इंप्रूव योर कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स या बस यही मिला? क्या हुआ एग्जैक्टली?
I was searching I just say that I was searching a job in a bank. So उस वक्त मतलब अप्लाई तो किया हुआ था, बट सडनली मुझे ये कॉल अच्छी लगी कि अच्छा पैकेज, हैंडसम पैकेज मिल रहा था, तो आई सेड.
So you could say that आप call center में you can go ahead and earn some good amount out of it, right?
Earn some good amount and you can get मतलब हर चीज आप कुछ ना कुछ सीखते तो हैं, ठीक है. In a call center I learned communication skills. I learned very good communication skill, typing skills and other software management things.
CRM यूज करना आ गया, बेसिक्स आ गई, लोगों से इंटरेक्शन करना आ गया. एक कॉर्पोरेट लेवल पे नहीं भी तो एक छोटे लेवल पे एज अ फ्रेशर इट वाज अ गुड अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर यू टू गो अहेड एंड वर्क. So yeah, that's a good thing. And I would also want the youths to know about it. यार देखें, ये जो एक कॉन्सेप्ट बना हुआ है ना पाकिस्तान में कि जी वो कॉल सेंटर में करते हैं काम, तो हमारा तो जी स्टैंडर्ड नहीं है. देखें, स्टैंडर्ड किसी का कोई भी नहीं है. इट्स नॉट अबाउट दैट. There are पहली बात तो ये है कि जब आप when you speak to foreigners, because I've got 8 to 10 years of working experience. I started off back in 2013 from Barrier University, Islamabad. I still remember I started off as an accounts manager from an Australian company, Vivid Ads. Then I was promoted to the project managerial position. I had to deal with people जहाँ पे Qatar Airways के marketing heads थे directly. So I had to take all the their designs, pop-up banner पे क्या बनाना है, किस तरह से है, सब कुछ. So it was an experience for me. ठीक है. उसके बाद I went to TRG, DGS. I've explored here and there. It's not an easy thing. It's a very tough job. There are targets. You got to speak to people, but you learn a lot. You learn their culture. You learn different states. What center was that? आप US based के लिए कर रही थी या Canadian कोई था? क्या कर रही थी? मतलब what was the customer that you guys were approaching? कौन सी area, कौन सा था उसका?
It was basically local intellectual boards, because at that time the SIM verification
so that was locally Pakistan का ही था basically. ठीक है, but anyways देखें जो customer service होती है ना, that's one of the hardest jobs. मैंने customer success में भी काम किया. I'm a senior account manager right now, working in a company. I've been a customer success manager before. Value retention आ जाती है. देखें ना, मुझे अगर Telenor वाले टाइम पे इंटरनेट मेरा नहीं मुझे सही मिल रहा, तो what am I going to do? I'm just going to give them a call. Okay, you know what guys, blah blah blah. Because हम समझते हैं कि जी हम तो पैसे भर रहे हैं तो बस. So it's not easy to cope up with it. So how did you manage? Tell us more about your career journey now. ठीक है, कॉल सेंटर में आप आ गई, तो क्या हुआ जी? स्टार्ट किया, क्या फीलिंग थी? पहला दिन अपना बताएं कि जी मैं पहले दिन गई और मैं कॉल पे आई, और just tell us something exciting. Go ahead.
Your first day तो था बिल्कुल. I was, सारे बच्चे जो थे, they all were freshers and they were very nervous. So first जब हम, I have put on my headgear, so the first ring हुई, I was, shocked. ये समझ नहीं आ रहा था कि क्या बोलना है. एकदम,
और
कि what
किसी कोई
happened.
ऐसी कॉल तो नहीं आ गई जिसपे आपको हुआ कि यार क्या, मतलब आपने कहा सुपरवाइजर को कि जी बताएं क्या करूं, एंड यू वर
नहीं होता
नर्वस?
था. It was like that, I still remember one person was, कि वो कॉल करके तो he said what is the time. Like, sorry, just he asked the time and sure, put down the call, end of the call. So I was really shocked कि अच्छा जी इन्होंने time पूछने के लिए call किया. So इस तरह की भी थी. एक customer था that he was facing a lot of issues in validating his SIM. So he took my 1 hour. Okay, he was not satisfying at all. जितना मर्जी इसको कह लें, sir, please, I have forwarded your complaint and blah blah, but he was not. No, still. So finally, I gave my call to my tier, and
Okay.
he handled the call. पूरा 1 घंटा, he was still talking and talking कि भाई मेरा तो अभी
आपके
करके दो डैड,
एस्केलेशन ले रहे थे बेसिकली कि जी चलें इस तरह
अभी
से
करके दें आप. हाँ, अभी अभी
चलें. अब
रिजॉल्व
दिस वाज योर लर्निंग फेज, आपने कुछ ना
लर्निंग
कुछ
फेज.
करना
आई
शुरू
एंजॉयड.
कर
हाँ.
दिया, यू एंजॉयड इट, बट स्टिल you think that
हाँ.
कहीं ना कहीं lack of career counseling थी, due to which you were not
Yes,
sure
because it
exactly
was
what to
not
pursue.
my. Because I never wanted to be in the call center. I wanted to be, everyone wanted to join their job
Banking
according to
sector
their
या फिर
studies.
आपका. अच्छा, अब
According
इसमें
to their
I
studies.
would really like to appreciate the youth, people like you. You're a mother as well. You are, supporting your family. So I would really like to appreciate Pakistani especially. We've got big hearts. हमें रास्ता मिल जाए ना, ये अपॉर्चुनिटी, तो हम कहते हैं यार बस
हाँ, we
शुरू
go
कर
for
दो. वी गो फॉर इट, एंड दैट इज व्हाई वी आर अ हैप्पी नेशन. देखें, गवर्नमेंट ने तो कुछ नहीं छोड़ा ना. पता नहीं वो 230
हाँ.
समथिंग पे पेट्रोल है, तो वो आप एसी चलाते 10 बार सोचते हैं कि जी वो कितना बिल आएगा
हाँ.
एंड ऑल दैट, राइट? सो बट स्टिल आपने बात की कि जी आई स्टार्टेड ऑफ, so you had that motivation. So my point to the government and to those institutes is one thing, and that is very very basic, कि यार जब इतना टैलेंट है, जब इतने लोग हैं, जब इतनी विमेन एंटरप्रेन्योर्स हैं, आप सिंगल हैंडेड घर चला रही हैं, मतलब लोग हैं बहुत सारे इस तरह के. आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट यू, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल आउट देयर.
Yes.
63% ऑफ द पॉपुलेशन इज यूथ. जब इतनी ज्यादा यूथ है आपकी, ये 2017 के स्टैट्स हैं, थोड़े से फर्क हो सकते हैं, बट दैट्स द मेजॉरिटी. तो क्यों नहीं अपॉर्चुनिटीज दे रहे हैं आप? इज इट बिकॉज यू आर अफ्रेड ऑफ द फैक्ट कि अगर कल को ये लोग ऊपर आ गए तो हमारा क्या बनेगा? मुझे तो यही लगता है कि जी फिर
Maybe. हाँ.
मे बी दैट्स देयर थ्योरी कि जी नो, वी डोंट वांट देम टू बिकम नेक्स्ट पॉलिटिशियंस. अब वन मोर
मैं
थिंग दैट
वही,
आई, या गो अहेड, गो अहेड.
जिसमें वही कह रही हूँ कि जब पहले में आप जॉब फेयर लगा सकते हैं, तो फिर क्यों नहीं आप ये कर सकते कि भाई एंटरप्रेन्योर्स भी आए एंड दे गाइड द स्टूडेंट्स अकॉर्डिंग टू, जब जॉब फेयर आप लगा रहे हैं तो फिर वाई नॉट एंटरप्रेन्योर्स को नहीं आप लोग फाइंड आउट कर सकते? और है भी पोटेंशियल जबकि
देखिए,
क्योंकि
मैं तो
जिस
ये चाहूंगा कि मैं यूथ अलमनाई एसोसिएशन का जॉब फेयर लगाऊं. ये मेरा एक आइडिया था
ये
जो कि बड़ा इनोवेटिव है. इसी तरह आई वुड वांट, I was having a word with this girl, Shiza. I just had a podcast just before you. I was talking to her. She really explained about a very good thing that I would like to tell you as well. And that was regarding mental health awareness.
हाँ.
पाकिस्तान में क्या
ये
होता है जी, बच्चों को तबीयत खराब है, डिप्रेशन है, कोविड आया. I myself went into depression for a couple of months. लोगों ने कहा कुछ नहीं होता यार, ये तो तुम वक्ती तौर पे ऐसे हुए हो, इसको मूवी दिखाओ ना, ये ठीक हो जाएगा. जाओ उसके गाड़ियों के शोरूम पे
didn't
लेके
take
जाओ.
it as seriously.
या
हाँ.
मुझे लोग कह रहे हैं यार, जब वो तुम गाड़ी देखने जा रहे थे वो ब्रांड शोरूम पे, तब तो बड़ा अच्छे मूड में थे. ऑब्वियसली यार, जब मैं वहां जाऊंगा तो मूड तो अच्छा ही रखूंगा ना. आई एम बाइंग अ न्यू कार फॉर माई सेल्फ. am I gonna buy a car like this? I mean, of course not, right? So point is, we need to focus on these kind of activities. Now coming towards the professional life, go ahead. कॉल सेंटर स्टार्ट किया, क्या हुआ उसके बाद, व्हाट हैपेंड?
उसके बाद वही, तो मैं एक और बात ऐड करना चाहती हूँ कि जस्ट फॉर फीमेल्स ना, पेरेंट्स की बस यही होती है दैट इसकी तो शादी करनी है, तो बस जो मर्जी मिलती है थोड़ा बहुत टाइम स्पेंड करो एंड देन शादी करें. दिस इज द ईयर, यू नो, ये आपकी लाइफ का मकसद ही जो है वो जस्ट ये होता है. और फीमेल्स पेरेंट्स का तो यही होता है. ठीक है, तो दैट वाज, आई गॉट वेरी वेरी गुड अपॉर्चुनिटीज एज वेल. यहाँ ये भी मैं बता दूं, ठीक है, आई गॉट अ कॉल फ्रॉम बर्जर पेंट्स. ठीक है, और वो बहुत अच्छी अपॉर्चुनिटी ऑब्वियसली हो सकती थी मेरे लिए, बट यू नो इट वाज फॉर अवे फ्रॉम माय होम. तो माय मदर, बिकॉज शी वाज आल्सो सिंगल मदर, so she didn't allow me to go. I said it's okay. Then I got a call from DMAS, you know, Diamond and Gold Jewelry brand है. वहाँ से I gave interview. MM Alam Road पे था उस वक्त. So their timing was a morning from 11 to 9 or 10. So it was also late timing. So she didn't allow me. I said okay. I got a lot of opportunities, good opportunities for according to my you know my education, but कर नहीं सकी थी. उसके I got engaged and जी उसके बाद तो जी लॉस के प्रेशर भी, अभी तो एंगेजमेंट है तो फिर जी ये नहीं करनी तो वो नहीं करनी. I said okay. फिर जब शादी हो गई उसके बाद you know I left my career.
करियर गैप आ
So
जाता है बीच में, जो कि
career gap आ जाता.
आ भी जाता है. इट्स ओके, ठीक है, नई एक जर्नी
हाँ
है.
मतलब
शादी इटसेल्फ एक करियर ही है ना, आपका एक लाइफ का करियर
हाँ
है जिसमें एक लाइफ जर्नी है. आई थिंक देयर शुड बी अ बैलेंस बिटवीन योर वर्क लाइफ एंड योर यू नो जो आपकी मैरिटल लाइफ है और वो
हाँ
सब कुछ है. तो इट्स ओके टू टेक दैट ब्रेक. एवरीवन डज दैट,
हाँ
सो देयर इज नो हार्म. या
हाँ. I take that break. अदरवाइज ठीक है. उसके बाद फिर मैरिज चली नहीं. तो आई यू नो उसके बाद जब मैं मदर के पास वापस आई, देन आई स्टार्ट थिंकिंग कि अब क्या किया जाए, यू नो. तो उस वक्त माय डॉटर वाज 1 year old. So I cannot do a 9 to 5 job. So again challenges were there. So I started academy job. There was, you know, academy timings and just they were paying me 11-12 thousand for 4 hours. I used to go
way
4
too
o'clock
less,
p.m.
way too less.
Yes, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. So I started कि चलें बच्ची भी छोटी है तो 4 hours घर से बाहर है, it's okay. Then I met a person, a very good person. He introduced me to freelancing world and he introduced me to the content writing on phone call. सारा कुछ मैंने phone calls पे सीखा and
आपको
he
उन्होंने
guided me
कंटेंट
very
राइटिंग
well.
सिखाई बेसिकली.
हाँ, basically academic writing, content writing जो भी था उनको he gave me projects and websites and you know I make and the first month I make 28,000 from you know from
Double than what you were getting and in
sitting.
lesser hours,
हाँ,
I believe.
yes, हाँ, yes. So मतलब sitting at home I make
So
28,000.
you
So
found
it
a
was very
mentor.
very good.
What you're trying to say is कि आपका
हाँ
mentor मिल जाए, तो you should
हाँ,
be thankful.
obviously.
पहले तो अल्लाह ताला
Yes,
को कि जी thank you so much कि आपने कोई
yes,
जरिया
exactly.
बनाया. Secondly,
जरिए अपने.
जो आपका mentor है उसका आपको thank you करना चाहिए कि यार thank you so much that you were the one who was there to
Again,
help me.
you can relate to it, counseling से relate कर सकते हैं because I was thinking कि ये तो मैं कर ही नहीं सकूंगी, but he मतलब he asked me what is your qualification and that. तो मैंने जब उनको बताया तो उन्होंने कहा why not, you must try it. तो मैंने कहा अच्छा ठीक है. He
आपको
gave me
बूस्ट किया, आपको मोटिवेट किया,
हाँ
फिर आप कंटेंट राइटिंग में आई and you.
कि मेरे माइंड में था कि I cannot do this, but वो उन्होंने कहा
What
कि
was the
नहीं, you
fear
have the
thing? I mean,
potential.
because क्या लिखने में आपको इतनी अपना कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं था, even though you were a graduate, या कभी लिखा
I
था
was
नहीं?
इसमें ये था कि you know a gap. तो जो कैरियर गैप था that I have lost my confidence a lot. ठीक है,
सादिया,
अभी
एक
मैं
चीज
आपसे
मैं
बात
आपसे
कर रही हूँ,
पूछना
at
चाहूंगा.
that time I was not.
Exactly one thing that I so want to throw some light upon that fact, because you're not the only one. Alhamdulillah, you're in a position that you fought. There are a lot of people who cannot do that. How did you cope up?
You know, my daughter is my motivation. You know, कि उसके लिए मुझे कुछ करना है. That's the main thing. Because that time, you know, I was जब एक 4 साल इतना ज्यादा गैप और इतने आप टॉक्सिक रिलेशनशिप में थे, then mentally आप बहुत डिप्रेशन में चले जाते हैं. And I was feeling that I cannot do even, I cannot teach, you know, when I जब मैंने first interview दिया for my teaching, so I was shivering like पता नहीं, I'm not able to teach. You know, my confidence level was zero.
Shattered.
ठीक है ना, shattered and very much, you know, I was like कि पता नहीं मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकती. So but when I met that person, you can say my mentor. He gave me very, very, courage. And जब उन्होंने मेरा काम देखा तो he appreciated me. So इससे भी मुझे थोड़ा सा boost मिला. And but still it was on, sitting at home. So my confidence level was still not as much that I cannot talk to the clients directly. So वो messaging पे and email chats and this was happening. But थोड़ा सा start हो गया. ठीक है, थोड़ा सा build होना शुरू हो गया because I was giving good work and they were appreciating me. So they were happy from my work. So they are giving me work and good एक circle चलना start हो गया. Okay, then again एक break आया because my mother's health issues. She got some health issues. We had to hospitalize her. So I still फिर थोड़ा सा gap हो गया. इतना नहीं था but फिर भी still I was doing something. Then my daughter grows up to 3 years. So I started thinking that I had to started her school as well. So कैसे manage करना है, fees, what are the fees today's schools बहुत high हैं. So then I started, why not I started teaching career so that I can manage my daughter as well. And in the evening time, because school timings are short from 8 to 2. And for the rest of the time, I can do content writing. So both सही हो जाएगा, manage हो जाएगा. Then I took a step and I go for a teaching job and I give interviews and then I got selected as well. But फिर COVID आ गया. Then जिस साल मतलब I got selected and मेरी started होनी थी job on 1st March और 1st March जो था वो that was the first day of lockdown. So again
again I
I
hate
was
के
faced.
यार क्या हो रहा है, मतलब क्या हो रहा है मेरे साथ, मतलब क्या बैड लक की चलती जा रही है.
फिर मैंने सोचा कि जब तक फिर मैंने कंटेंट राइटिंग को परस्यू किया, साथ साथ अप्लाई भी करती रही. फिर जब कोविड के साथ साथ फिर थोड़े बहुत अरसे बाद आई गॉट अ जॉब एंड आई स्टार्टेड माय करियर, टीचिंग करियर विद द पे स्केल ऑफ 18,000. So I think it was walking distance from my home. So I thought, okay,
But
chalo, theek hai,
you never stopped, you always kept on going and moving ahead,
kept on
which is a very good positive approach. Acha chale, whatever happened, you kept on moving forward, side hustle thi. What do you think right now? uh, what do you think about yourself? Do you think now you're in that position where you're happy and you've got a daily good routine where you smile and you're taking your kids out? How do you feel about yourself?
I'm happy but not totally satisfied because a teaching job cannot,
It's not
stand up to
paying
me
you
like
well. It's not paying you well. That's what
paying
you're.
not well.
See, I was
I
astonished
cannot,
to see that there are, I'm not going to name those schools, but they take a lot of fee from students. But
yes,
in the end, when it comes to teachers,
not
they
paying.
don't pay them at all. I'm going to use at
Yes,
all. Why? Because there is no minimum wage in Pakistan. And there
yes.
should be a minimum wage, not for just the government sector, but for the private sector as well. This is my message to all those government
Ah,
officials who are listening to this, and also to the youth
yes.
जिनके लोग गवर्नमेंट में हैं, ये मैसेज पहुंचाएं. अगर नहीं पहुंचाएंगे
Um,
तो things are not going to change. There are
even
mothers
though,
like you, there are people
yes,
अभी तो चलें, फिर आप एक माशाल्लाह एक settled एक उसमें
mm,
background से हैं माशाल्लाह, you've got your parents to support you and all. But what about those people out there जिनका who have talent but वो talent misutilize हो रहा है? तो अगर हमारी
yes, because
गवर्नमेंट
like
मिसयूटिलाइज कर रही है उस टैलेंट को, तो फिर कसूरवार तो फिर गवर्नमेंट ही हुई ना. कि मतलब टैलेंट देखें, मेरे घर एक गाड़ी है ब्रांड न्यू, ड्राइवर नहीं है चलाने के लिए, तो व्हाट डज दैट मीन? कि वो
सही,
गाड़ी तो खड़े खड़े जंग लग जाएगा उसको, व्हाट
useless,
कैन यूजलेस हो गई. तो दैट्स व्हाट आई एम
useless
ट्राइंग
beyond
टू कम
loss.
अप विद. अब लास्ट 2 minutes में any message that you would want to give to women and the youth out there कि यार don't give up? Because one thing that I like about you, we gonna do a session pretty soon. Next session में हम मजीद बातें करेंगे आपसे, and we'll try कि आप
Sure.
इस podcast के थ्रू अपने messages पहुंचाएं, and I'll try कि मैं आपको लोगों से connect करूं यूएई में, यूके में, कनाडा में. मैं ये नहीं कहता मुल्क छोड़ दें. Even in Pakistan, there are a lot of people who would be there, who would love to help you out. But this is the first step. The first step is that you have to say that you can. and you took it today. And I pray for you as well that you get all the good, things in your life. And I'm pretty sure you would. Trust me.
Yes, my first message and my heartly message for women and for youth also,
Yeah.
that be financially independent. Please be financially independent. It's very,
Hmm.
very much important.
Don't rely on your
Financially
husbands,
independent.
because you never
No,
know. देखिए,
no,
rely करना is not
no,
bad.
not on husbands. Husbands की बात नहीं है. Circumstances there must be. मतलब
You
मेरी एक जो
never know what
principal थी,
happens, na? You never know what
never know
happens.
what would happen. Because she was a widower, so she is having 2 kids, and she was running a cycle. आपको अपनी लाइफ का नहीं पता कि circumstances कभी भी चेंज हो जाते हैं, कुछ नहीं पता होता. बट लेकिन अगर स्टार्टेड से जो है, मैंने अपने लाइफ करियर को फोकस किया होता. आई डिडंट फोकस बिकॉज ऑफ पेरेंट्स का भी है कि भाई शादी और ये वो, तो बट फोकस तो करें ना करियर पे. जो होगा दैट देखी जाएगी उसके बाद. बट एट दैट टाइम वो कहते हैं ना, आज की सोच ज्यादा. ठीक है ना, आप अपने करियर को सोचें और बी फाइनेंशियली इंडिपेंडेंट. ये होना बहुत जरूरी है. एक तो चले अगर आप मैरिज रिलेशनशिप में हैं, देन इट्स ऑल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, बिकॉज इतनी महंगाई है. अगर आप अपने हस्बैंड को कर रही हैं, उसका हेल्पिंग हैंड बन रही है, तो इट्स वेरी गुड थिंग. और यूथ के लिए भी मैं कहूंगी कि स्टार्ट योर करियर एज अर्ली एज पॉसिबल. स्टडीज के साथ बेशक करें या स्टडीज साथ साथ रखते हुए, बिकॉज इट इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. हमारी जिंदगी छोटी सी है, तो जितनी जल्दी अपना
Smile
करियर
while you
स्टार्ट
still
करेंगे.
have teeth. जिंदगी से याद
हाँ
आया,
सर.
अगर आपकी एक एवरेज एज 79 ईयर्स है, तो आपके पास 28,000 कुछ डेज होते हैं, that you can count,
हाँ.
जिनमें से 9,000 days you sleep if you've got a normal sleep cycle. So 30,000 दिन की तो जिंदगी है. क्या फायदा
हाँ.
स्ट्रेस लेने का. एंड more power to you guys, especially people like you who are still, going ahead and following their journey. Sadia, definitely I'll see if there is anything that I personally can do for you as well. And I would want people listening to her that if she is good in teaching, go ahead, give her opportunities where she can actually get a better lifestyle, because she has already gone through a lot. And this is what we can do through these podcasts, helping people out. And how Sadia can help you guys out is because of her passion and experience and how she did not give up. If you want any counseling from her, I'm pretty sure, Sadia, you are the person who can help people out as well, because you've gone through that
Yes,
phase.
obviously, because I have gone through I have faced a lot of issues, so I must, दिल से मैं चाहूंगी कि अगर मैं जो मेरी जैसी खवातीन है, कुछ ने मुझे कांटेक्ट किया भी फॉर माय ब्लॉगिंग एंड फ्रॉम माय यूट्यूब ब्लॉगिंग चैनल. सो दे हैव कांटेक्टेड मी कि आप कैसे कर रही हैं. हम और मुझे इतनी वो होती है कि आई एम नॉट अलोन. देयर आर लॉट ऑफ वुमेन, दे आर फेसिंग द सेम इशू, बल्कि शायद मुझसे भी ज्यादा फेस कर रही हैं. तो एक होना चाहिए एक प्लेटफॉर्म के उनको भी गाइडेंस के लिए, उनके लिए भी कुछ होना चाहिए फ्रॉम द गवर्नमेंट साइड एज वेल, कि भाई जो फीमेल्स के लिए अब तो होना स्टार्ट तो हुई है. एक लिटिल स्टेप्स आर
वही
दे आर
है, बट
टेकिंग अप. बट
अनफॉर्चुनेटली जो कुछ हो रहा है ना, वो नजर आ रहा है टीवी पे. कोई बात नहीं हो रही एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप के ऊपर, कोई वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट क्या होती है, वो बैनर्स लेके आ जाते हैं, मैं अपना पंचर
हाँ.
खुद लगाओ, वो उनको ये कह रहे हैं. वो कह रही हैं कि जी वट एवर द कोड्स, मैं तो आई डोंट इवन वांट टू नेम दोस वर्ड्स वो जो यूज करते हैं. वो बड़ा ही अजीब एक टॉपिक शुरू हो जाता है. तो ये वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट नहीं है. वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट का मतलब ये है कि जी वुमेन को आप एम्पावर करें ताकि वो अपने आप को सर्वाइवल के लिए वो कमा सकें, वो
हाँ.
अपनी लाइफस्टाइल अच्छी कर सकें. वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट डज नॉट मीन कि आपको वो स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑफ लाइफ दे दिए जाएं जो कि आपके नॉर्म्स एक्सेप्ट नहीं करते, विद इन
हाँ, वही ना.
इस्लामिक
जैसे
रिपब्लिक ऑफ पाकिस्तान.
व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग फॉर. हाँ, मैं भी यही ट्राई करी ना, बिकॉज ऑफ गुड लिविंग स्टैंडर्ड फॉर मी एंड माय डॉटर. बिकॉज अगर 3 वक्त की वो कहते हैं खाने रोटी
जी.
की बात है, तो वो तो अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह मिल रही है. बट वी आर ट्राइंग टू गेट अ बेटर लाइफ फॉर मी एंड माय डॉटर्स. सो
Sadia,
होप फॉर बेस्ट
I have
इंशाल्लाह.
another session. So I would have to hop on to another call.
ओके.
I will definitely make sure that we guys get back to you. Thank you so much for joining in. And you guys can subscribe to our Youth Alumni Association channel on YouTube. And more power to people like you, Sadia. Take care of yourself and have a great day ahead. Bye bye.
थैंक यू सो मच.
Thank you.